What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Welcome back to Omar BYT, ladies and gentlemen. And welcome, guys, to another Barcelona News Roundup, ladies and gentlemen. We are back again with another news roundup, guys. Sorry that there is no lives for these next few days, guys. Unfortunately, guys, my internet is absolutely not in a good place right now. So, guys, you're going to be getting a lot of these premiere videos, guys, where I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of content. Guys, the content doesn't stop. But before we get started, guys, listen, before we get started, to all of my Muslim brothers and sisters out there, big up to every single one of you guys. Eid Mubarak to all of my Muslim brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, as you guys know, I am Muslim myself, guys. That's why you can see I'm dressed up for the occasion, guys. This is a very, very special day for us Muslims out there in the world, guys. And big up to every single one of you guys who are out there, all my Muslim brothers and sisters. I hope you're all having a great Friday. I hope you guys are spreading positivity, spreading love amongst your families and your relatives out there. But listen, even though today is Eid, ladies and gentlemen, the show doesn't stop. The show doesn't stop. Transfer news, basically any news coming out of Barcelona right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's huge, guys. There's still a lot of news that have been coming out of the club despite all of this, and this is the first place to come to find your latest news when it comes to Barcelona, guys. And listen, we're gonna get into some transfers. We're gonna get into some of our players, you know, how they've been doing during the international break, and also we're gonna get into some, you know, some positive news, unfortunately, guys, because there is also some negative news when it comes to Barcelona. We're gonna get into all of that. But if you guys like that, make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and let's go. And ladies and gentlemen, where else should I start? Where else should we start than what we saw yesterday? What we witnessed yesterday in the Nations League, ladies and gentlemen. Spain versus France. A game that many people are saying is the game that is going to judge the Ballon d'Or. All of this talk, you know, everyone had a lot of talk coming into the game. But in the end, Spain got the win 5-4. What a game. Listen, for the neutral, amazing game, right? If you look at that game on paper, Spain versus France is a game between two heavyweights. And honestly, guys, the scoreline, it basically fits the game, right? It was a heavyweight game. We got 9 goals, guys, in this game. And it was an amazing game. Look, if I'm going to be very, very honest, guys, I don't think the result shows what we witnessed yesterday, because I'm not necessarily going to say that it was just all one team game. I don't think it was necessarily. However, we have to be very honest. Spain were the better team in this game, right? France had moments, like especially at the start of the game. I feel like they had a great momentum at the start of the game. But then when Spain got that first goal, the momentum died. Like, Spain did not look back after they got that goal. And an amazing goal by Nico Williams from across by Yamal, of course. And then Mikel Merino coming in, getting the second goal right before halftime, right? Making it 2-0. And then second half, my baller, Lamine Yamal, steps up from the spot, gets the third goal. Before you know it, before these guys can even respond, guess what? Pedri says, hold my beer, scored the fourth. France got a Fugazi penalty through Mbappe. He scored, but guess what? Yamal said, listen, man, you guys think of a comeback? No. Comeback impossible. Scored a brace, made it 5-1. And listen, when it was 5-1, you just thought, yo, this game, these guys could, France could get battered here. They could get battered. But in the end, right, Deschamps, the absolute fraud that he is, actually did something right. He made some changes, right? He took off Desiree Doué, who was, let's be real, he had a stinker in the game, right? He had a stinker. He took Dembele off. He brought in Cherki, who I want to talk about, right? Because Cherki is the guy that came on and he changed the game for France, right? This brother came in, scored an amazing, oh, what a goal he scored. That was world class, elite. Like, this guy, he's a baller, man. He's up there for me with Yamal, Doué, and all these guys. The future of football right now. He's up there with all of these guys, right? He scored an amazing goal, got the cross into the box that caused the own goal by Vivian, and then got the cross that got the header, got the header for the fourth one. Like, this guy came on and did more than all of the French players combined, right? He absolutely cooked. But listen, man, if there's one person we need to talk about, it's this man right here, Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal. This guy continues every single time. Just when you think he's done, he brings something new. Every time you think you've seen it all with this kid, he says, hold my beer, I'm about to show you guys levels, right? And look, there was nothing yesterday that made me feel much any better than going to social media and looking at the people over there and what they were saying about this guy. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this here because I do have a video ready for that, ladies and gentlemen. It will be coming out tomorrow on this. But there are people out here, ladies and gentlemen, who are so hateful when it comes to this kid. They are so hateful. Like, like the witch hunt that has been around this kid never made sense to me. Like, this kid can't do anything. He can't talk. Like, anytime he says anything, people call him arrogant. Even when he celebrates. Yesterday, you know, the celebration triggered a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen. It triggered a lot of people because people just want to hate. People just want to hate. You cannot just be happy for someone, bro. Oh yeah, if he plays for you, oh yeah, absolutely. If he plays for you, you would be singing his praises to the moon. But real football fans out there, and I mean the real football fans, whether they're rivals, whether they're not rivals. Yeah, sometimes when they're rivals, they'll throw shameless plugs over here. But the hate will not be personal. But when you're on social media, you see people over there, bro. The personal hatred they have for this kid, it's actually sad because this is a teenager, right? But they choose to hate this guy, right? So personally, it's like this guy literally they found this guy in bed with their missus, bro. That is how much some of these guys hate this guy, bro. But listen, I will get into all of that. But what I just want to tell you guys is this. Do I think that yesterday's game proves anything, basically changes the toss on the Ballon d'Or? I don't think so. I think in the end of the day, French football are going to give it to their French hero, and Dembele is going to win the Ballon d'Or. It is what it is, right? And listen, Dembele yesterday, let's be real, right? I wouldn't necessarily say he had a stinker. I think Mbappe had a worse game for me than Ousmane Dembele. I think Dembele was trying stuff. It just wasn't working out in the end. He didn't exactly have a great game, but I wouldn't necessarily say he had a stinker. Desiree Doué was terrible yesterday. Well, what did this Doué do, right? Bro, the guy came on, right? I think he played 60 minutes, did nothing, right? And people try to compare their Doué to my baller, bro. There are levels. You got Doué and Doué and Yamal around the same age. Look at what Yamal is doing. Yeah, the guy just scored in the Champions League final. Great for him. I'm happy for him, bro. Okay, I'm not gonna sit there and say Doué is a bum. Before people say, oh, he's saying Doué is a bum. I'm not saying Doué is a bum. I'm not one of those guys, bro. I can acknowledge greatness when I see it. I can acknowledge ballers when I see it. Just like I can acknowledge a player like Cherky. I can acknowledge a player like Doué. Okay, he is that guy. But yesterday he wasn't that guy. Yesterday, you feel me? Yeah, my guy, my player, my Barcelona player, my Spanish hero, ladies and gentlemen. He stepped up. And now he's going to the final against Portugal to play against one of the greatest footballers to ever play the game in Cristiano Ronaldo, man. This guy is just doing it all. Because I think they're supposed to play Argentina in the final, in the Felicima final as well. So he will literally play against both Messi and Ronaldo very, very soon. Insane. Absolutely insane. But what a moment, what a game that was yesterday. And what a game it was for the Barcelona players. And I didn't even mention Pedri. What a goal by Pedri. I mean, Pedri was just cooking yesterday. People want to hate, but dude, look at Pedri on the ball yesterday. The maestro that we have. Absolute killer, man. But yeah, man, what an amazing game that was yesterday. But moving on, this is another guy, ladies and gentlemen, that we need to start talking about, okay? I'm going to talk about Luis Díaz. I'm going to talk about all those guys. Don't worry about it. But I would be remiss, ladies and gentlemen, if I didn't bring up this man's performance yesterday. You know, there are people out here who try to tell me, Nico Williams is not as good as you think he is. Nico Williams is not as good as you think he is. Nico Williams is a bum. Nico Williams is so overrated. Listen, this guy plays for Athletic Bilbao. And with all due respect to Athletic Bilbao, right? I'm not going to be disrespectful, okay? But there are levels when it comes to these kinds of players. You feel me, right? Teams. When this brother puts on the Spanish shirt, he's always cooking. Like, people are going to talk about what he does for Bilbao. Listen, Bilbao, first of all, are not a threat in world football, right? They're a good team out there in Spain, absolutely. But they're not needle movers in the Champions League. They're not going to be needle movers in La Liga, okay? They are just the okay team. And they have okay players. But this guy, when you put him in the Spanish team with the players that the Spanish team has, you see the quality that this guy has. And I've been saying that we've been talking about this Luis Díaz stock and how Liverpool are offering 80 million. This guy is available this season. This guy is available right now this season. We can get this guy if we want to. But we're sitting here wasting our time, right? Trying to get into the whole Luis Díaz talk, which I will get into, but I need to talk about this, right? Apparently, after yesterday's game, after the amazing game here yesterday, apparently from what the Barça Buzz are saying, Barcelona are fully aware of the admiration of Nico Williams within the fans. And now it remains to be seen whether the club will try to sign him again. However, emotional aspects and previous rejections will not be the main reason why he doesn't come into fruition. Listen, this guy, if we went in for this guy, we would get him. And that is what really pisses me off. We can get this guy if we actually went in for him. But the issue is, we're butthurt. People are going to say, but it's not emotional rejection. F off, okay? Let's be real. The reason why Deco now is not talking about this deal, because he was talking about this deal the whole of last season, but because Nico Williams said, yo, I want to stay and try to win the Europa League with my hometown club and then maybe move next summer, he got butthurt. Because that's what this is all about. There's no reason for us to not go in for Nico Williams. Bro, I have seen enough from Spain this in the Euros, in the Nations League, and this year as well, to tell you that a partnership between Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal is dynamite. It is absolute dynamite. And we have an opportunity to make this work. We can have Rafinha, Nico Williams, and Yamal in our team, but we're dilly-dallying with a player who might not even come in. Like, come on, this is my point. Sometimes this is what sometimes irritates me about Barca, right? There's a player that is obviously there for us to get, but we always set ourselves on players that are gonna be difficult to get. But we spend so much time on those players and not try to get the players that are out there available for us to get. You don't believe me? Look at last season. Last season, we wanted Nico Williams and Dani Olmo. Dani Olmo had made it very clear he wanted to return back to Barcelona, right? But we kept on insisting on working on the Nico Williams deal first. We spent the whole of the summer, the whole of July, trying to convince Nico Williams. The whole of July. When we stepped into August and it looked and we hadn't signed one player and the fans were beginning to get worried, well, guess what the club did? They went straight for Dani Olmo, and guess what, bro? Within days of getting into talking to Leipzig, the deal was already complete. Why? Because Dani Olmo wanted to return to Barcelona. He wanted the move. And Nico Williams now wants this move, but we are dilly-dallying with Luis Díaz, who Liverpool don't want to sell for anything below 80 million. Like, do we not learn our lessons? I don't understand this. But when it comes to Nico, I have full nothing but praises for this guy. And I will continue to have praises for this guy. Because I'm telling you right now, he, for me, is a better option than Luis Díaz. I think that when you look at Luis Díaz and Nico Williams, I don't see how different they are as players. I think Nico Williams is much younger and he has more time in the game. And that's why I think that we should go in for him over Luis Díaz. But yeah, listen, that's what I think. But as far as Luis Díaz is concerned, this is what we have to deal with. This is what we have to deal with, guys. Luis Díaz wants the move. He wants to join Barca. I think he's made all these cryptic messages recently to show that he wants the move. But the problem is right now is that Liverpool are not biting. they're saying that they will not sell for anything below 80. Apparently, from everything that we've heard, he is willing to reject Saudi, right? He's willing to run down his contract if he has to. He's willing to do anything to get this deal done. However, this is the thing. He's still on track, contractually obligated to stay with Liverpool. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, listen, unless he tries to force the move, we'll see what happens. Now, I know the Saudi thing is still there. People are saying, oh, he's going to reject any deal from Saudi. At the end of the day, money talks. And if Saudi put the money down for Luis Díaz, for Liverpool, and they put a ridiculous amount on Luis Díaz's face, I'm sorry, Luis Díaz is not going to look at it and say, no, bro, this guy's from the favelas, bro. You feel me? Like, money talks. So, for me, the club have to make a decision. We have to make a decision very quickly now when it comes to Luis Díaz. Either Luis Díaz has to force the move and make sure this move happens, or the club have to sit there and say, listen, Liverpool, we are not giving you 80 million. We can only give you 60. If you're not gonna accept it, then we will have to move on. Because here's the thing, guys. The transfer window has technically not started, but we have a lot of positions we need to work on. So when it comes to this deal with Luis Díaz, I think that what we have to do is that we have to be smart about this. We have options out there. I've just talked about the Nico Williams thing. He is an option, right? Lookman has been one that has been brought on recently, right? He is another option, right? There's so many different options out there that we can go in for, right? Luis Díaz is not the only one. We can't make the same mistake we made last season. We can't. We have to try to be smarter in the transfer window, right? If this is going to be difficult, then please, Barcelona, let's move on. Let's get into the Nico Williams thing. After your game yesterday, Nico Williams has shown you he's an option. So let's go in for him. But as far as Luis Díaz is concerned, listen, I don't disagree. I think that he does want the move. I think he is desperate for the move. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You can see it right here. He says if Diaz leaves Liverpool, it will only be for Barcelona. The player is completely rejected the idea of playing in Saudi. He and his father always followed Barcelona and wishes to play there someday. I don't deny that. But you've seen from what's happened with Nico last season, sometimes, bro, interest goes away. And if the club that you're playing for are not willing to sell you, you're just going to have to make a choice. Are you going to force the move and join us, right? Or are you going to be respectful and stay there? And listen, you can be respectful and stay if you want. I'm not going to be sitting here saying, oh, this and this and this. No. I'm just going to be very, very honest. If you decide to stay, good for you, right? But if you stay, guess what? Barcelona will go and sign another player. We could go in and bring Nico Williams. If Nico Williams comes in for next season, and we have that partnership between him and Yamal, and that cooks, that could be your time at your hopes of ever playing for the club diminish forever. So when it comes down to it, I think Barcelona should try and focus on getting the right players, right? We should try and see if we can bring in this guy. And if we don't bring him, then listen, it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. We've tried. Let's go for another option. That's what I think. But tell me what you guys think about this deal. Do you think Barcelona should still look at Luis Díaz, or should we now focus more on Nico Williams? Switching gears, ladies and gentlemen, to some news, guys, that's just come out recently at some other club, guys. West Ham have completed the deal to sign Jean-Clair Todibo, a permanent deal worth 40 million. And basically, he now completes his loan deal because he was on loan at West Ham last season. I was very surprised because he didn't have a good start. However, I think under Potter, he kind of had a good ending to the season. So it looks like now West Ham are going to trigger that buyout clause of 40 million. And the reason why this is actually tied to us is because, as you guys can see, Barcelona reserved a 20% sell-on clause, sell-on value, and Barcelona will be getting 8 million out of the deal. And listen, at the end of the day, I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I think Todibo is a very, very good defender, right? When we got rid of him, I don't know, I feel like we got rid of him a little bit too early. I think he could have done well at the club. But look, at the end of the day, I'm happy that we were able to get some money out of this move, right? At the end of the day, any money that we get from anywhere is good. At the end of the day, it is what it is. It's only 8 million, so it's not a crazy amount, but getting this money is very, very good for us, and we'll see what happens. But as far as Jean-Clair Todibo is concerned, moving to West Ham, it's a great deal for West Ham. It's a great deal for West Ham. They're trying to build something good with Graham Potter in the wheel, and getting a defender of this magnitude, a player who, let's be real, he was being linked to Juventus, Manchester United last season, right? So he's clearly a very, very good defender. So bringing him in and signing him on a permanent deal, it's a very, very good deal for them. But yeah, getting 20% out of the deal is great for us, and we'll see. At the end of the day, it's just gonna help us out, financially and everything else. But we'll see what happens next when it comes to other deals and how we basically approach the transfer window. But as far as Jean-Clair Todibo is concerned, good luck now, West Ham. Hopefully you kill it in the Premier League. And yeah, man, listen, we get something out of it, so I'm very, very happy about that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not gonna spend too much time on this one, guys, but I'm gonna talk about this, guys, because we need to get into this. Now, I'm sure you all saw yesterday's game between Spain and France. Deschamps decided to play a centre-back partnership of Konate and Lenglet. And now you guys see why Barcelona got rid of this guy. This guy was an absolute bum yesterday. He was an absolute bum yesterday. And apparently now it's pending confirmation. The confirmation, they haven't confirmed it yet. However, Barcelona have already made progress to terminate Lenglet's deal, and Atletico Madrid, who obviously want him to come in on a free, he used to earn 16 million, bro. 16 million, and that was halved basically, it was actually half, I think, that Atletico were willing to accept, and that is how we were able to get him out of our books last season. And yeah, look, as you can see, they're saying that basically if Lenglet basically forgoes his portion of the salary, basically the club still do have to pay for it. But this situation, guys, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because if we actually terminate this deal, this will actually help us with FFP, right? This will help us balance our books very, very well when it comes to the books at the club. But look, at the end of the day, I can't wait for this guy to just be his contract to be terminated. Like, I'm sorry, like, he's had a great time at Atletico Madrid. Good luck to him over there. Maybe over there he might finally, show what he can do. But yesterday, after what I saw yesterday, man, my opinions on him haven't changed. He's a terrible defender. He's a bum. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. Leave my club, man. Let's just get him. Just get him out of our books. That's it. That's really it. That's all I want. But yeah, guys, listen, guys. Those are the Barcelona transfer news, Barcelona News Roundup, guys. Tell me what you guys are saying in the comment section below when it comes to all of the news that I've just talked about, guys. The transfer news as far as the Nico Williams, what you think about the Diaz, Todibo's departure, Clément, Lenglet, and everything else that I've talked about on this stream. Let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and like I always say whenever I end these streams, guys, Visca el Barça, Visca el Catalunya. And peace, you guys. Take care.